Good morning, friends. Mr. Spitzer here. Today is day 2 of our fantasy unit. So I am going to my Google Classroom. You can see here, day 2, fantasy lesson 2. I'm opening up my Google document and I'm opening up my Google form. And the lesson today, the focus is on mood and tone. So our teaching point says that fantasy readers consider the setting not only as a physical setting, but as a psychological one. They analyze the mood, asking how the author develops the setting. Day 1, we focus on the setting where the story takes place. Day 2, we're focusing on the feeling that we're getting based on the setting. So you can see here my model example, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I wanted to have BrainPop show you a little bit about and explain what mood and tone is in terms of author's choice of words.
Dear Tim and Moby, how do I figure out what the tone is in a story? I don't get it. Signed, Tom. Tone is something that helps convey the emotion you should feel when you read or hear a passage. In general, tone reflects how the narrator or author feels about his topic. Often, it means the same as talking about the tone of someone's voice. Someone can sound angry, frustrated, exhausted, or happy, or excited. There are tons of tones. In a piece of writing, however, an author conveys these emotions through his words and writing style. For example, you can usually sense a piece's tone by examining the narrator's vocabulary and syntax, the way we put sentences together. Well, let's look at this passage. My eyes were red with rage, and I couldn't keep my feelings in any longer. I slammed my fist down on the table and demanded he give my money back, or else. Thanks. Anyway, we can definitely tell that the tone here is angry. Words like rage, slammed, and demanded tell us how the narrator's feeling. It's important.
So they did an awesome example of showing how words can be used to create a feeling or the mood and tone of the passage. So in my example passage, as you remember, I'm reading The Shadow of What Was Lost. In my example, the setting is taking place on both Tag's Peak and the waters of Earth. And some of the words and phrases the author uses to describe those things, they were saying like the water was hissing, spitting spray 100 feet into the air, and it was flickering back into darkness. On Tag's Peak, one of the quotes that I pulled said that no life grew there, not even the hard, poisonous foliage that survived everywhere in the wilderness. So again, these authors' words created this mood or atmosphere that it was this dark, sinister, scary place. It made me feel isolated, and I'm sure it made my character Tag feel lonely, harsh. It was kind of a dangerous setting because of the word poisonous. So again, it's how the author describes the setting to make you feel a certain way, the mood or the atmosphere. Again, we have a challenge question at the bottom. It's the deeper thinking question. So our deeper thinking question today is how the setting affects your character's behavior. So I gave my example down here. I also have our Google form. Now I want to address one thing before I show you some of my responses. Make sure that you're filling this out the right way and reading the whole question. So the first question is always your name. The second one is always the title of your book. And the third is how many pages did you read? I saw some people, they just typed like, I read 5 pages. I would prefer you just tell me the page numbers that you read. So here's the example is from 1 to 23. This morning I read just from page 15 to 38 because I did other work as well. So you're telling me the page you started on and the page you ended on. And then again, you're just answering each of these questions. So the first question says, what is the setting of your book? Yesterday, we examined the setting. It's where this book is happening or where the story is taking place. So my book starts off the waters of Earth, and I think that's a lake, I made the inference, and then it moves to Tag's Peak. So you could have multiple settings. The next thing that I want you to do, I want you to pick a couple words or phrases, just like in our BrainPop video, they pulled some words from that passage, just like I showed you some quotes. I want you to pull some words that help you feel a certain way. So I pulled the quote, "No life grew there, not even the hard poisonous foliage that survived everywhere in the wilderness." So it says, "What is the mood or atmosphere of that place?" And I said, "Dark, sinister, lonely, harsh." That's how it made me feel based on reading the description. And then at the end, the challenge question, I said, "The setting seems very harsh, dangerous, and isolating. I think the setting will force my character into actions that he doesn't necessarily want to take. If I was in a place that made me feel lonely, and if the setting was scary and dark, I'd want to escape as quickly as possible." So that's what I think my character is going to try to get away from where he is right now. And that's it for today. I hope that you're enjoying your fantasy books. Again, you're using Learning Ally, or you have a paper copy just like I have my paper copy here. You're looking at the model example, you're watching my video, hopefully, and you are completing the Google Forms. If you have any questions, my office hours are from 10 to 11 on Zoom, and I will be sending out a reminder on the Remind app. Hope to talk to you all soon. Take care.